Hi you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Danaray here. I'm coming back with another video today. Thank you guys for coming back. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. Thank you guys for sharing my videos. Thank you guys for all the encouraging words and for continuing to support this channel. I didn't really plan to come and make a video today, but because of the recent things that have gone on, which by the time you see this video, this situation will have long passed. But because of the recent things that have gone on in the social realm with Derrick Jackson and his wife and mistresses and narcissism being exposed once again, it triggered some things in me, and I was thinking about some things this morning, and I was like, you know, I want to do a video. So then this video is actually gonna probably not be what you expect that it's gonna be. I don't know what I'm gonna title it yet, but you guys are going to think I'm going to be coming from a victim standpoint, a victim of narcissistic abuse standpoint, and I'm actually not, because I almost know how it feels to be on the other side. So here we go. So today I started to think about, so if you have not watched my previous videos, then and the whole story and testimony that I gave about my experience with the narcissist, then you may not know this, but I said in my videos that I used to be a cheater. I used to be a habitual cheater, meaning that every boyfriend or relationship that I was in before the 5-year relationship with this narcissist, I was unfaithful in. The difference between me and a narcissist, which is not a whole lot, but it's that my conscience would not allow me to go through with the relationships that I was unfaithful in without telling my partner. But it also, when someone stayed in the relationship after I cheated, it didn't make me want to stop cheating. I feel like I didn't learn my lesson with being a cheater until I got in a situation that was scary and dangerous, and that's what caused me to stop cheating. I actually wanted to change my life, because I knew that I always wanted to be a wife, and I knew that my cheating activity would not be healthy. I knew that it was hurtful to people. I knew that it was hurtful even to me. But I could not cheat because of the deep-rooted issues with insecurity that I had that stem from so far back in my childhood that you wouldn't even believe. But it all stems from that. All cheating stems from insecurity. All cheating stems from some type of emotional place inside of a person that is not filled. It's all that. It's greed, it's all these things that we deal with inside of us that causes us to do these things, men and women. Every action, whether it is bad or good, stems from something inside of us, something inside of our minds, something inside of us emotionally, and it causes us to outplay our feelings. That's just how it happens. That's just how the world works. So I wanted to come and make this video to explain how I came to be this cheater, you know what I'm saying, which eventually led me to be a victim. And yeah, this is how many people are continuing to operate, because they are not free, and have not been set free, and they have not addressed the issues that are inside of them. You probably have not addressed the issues that are inside of you, which is why you're here. And I just want to help you. And I just want to be real about my childhood and me as a woman and all the emotional things that led to all the actions that I chose in my relationships. So I'm going to go back as far as to middle school, which is kind of where it was stamped inside of me. Insecurity and feeling ugly, feeling fat, feeling different, feeling unwanted, feeling abandoned, feeling rejected. All of it stemmed from when I was in middle school, as far back as I can remember, when I started to like men or boys or whatever, and I wanted to be liked by boys. And of course, I even wanted to be liked by girls, not in a sexual way, but I wanted friends. I wanted people to accept me. Like, I wanted them to think that I was cool. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be a part. So all of that, which is what most children experience in their lives, because that is just what we deal with when we're growing up, is acceptance. Everybody in some way, form, or fashion wants to be accepted for who they are. And if when you're not accepted for who you are, you then begin to alter who you are to be accepted. And that's when the spiral of identity issues begins. It can honestly control the rest of your life if you don't address it, if you don't face it, if you don't go back and see why you act or feel the way that you do. So I feel like in middle school, I started to like boys. I feel like people around me were starting to talk about sex and were starting to have sex. And I wanted to be a part of that. Like, I wanted to have a boyfriend. I wanted to have boys like me. But most of the time, the boys that I liked didn't like me back. Most of the time, the crushes that I had didn't have crushes on me back. And a lot of times I was picked on because I was darker and because I was bigger, meaning just taller than most other kids. They would call me names like Godzilla. Like, I will never forget being called that. It was so hurtful. And it just made me feel so ugly and big and like I was this monster. I can't believe I'm about to get emotional over this, but it's just like so cruel. And because of that, and because of everything else that I was called and me not being accepted or liked and being rejected by the boys that I wanted to like me, I began to be something that I was not. I began to desire things that really were not good for me, attention that was not good for me. Like, so I wanted to have sex because I wanted to be liked and I wanted to be cool and accepted, and I wanted like this attention, this void filled in my life. So that went on. I basically didn't ever have a boyfriend in middle school. When I got to high school, I feel like I had already went into this little turtle hole within myself of thinking, that I wasn't pretty, that I wasn't accepted. And honestly, some people may have a hard time believing this because I've never really been a quiet person. Like, I've always kind of had friends and been loud and been probably aggressive. But that is not even who I really am. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a strong woman and I am a boastful person when it comes to something I believe in. And I don't mind saying how I feel. Thanks to my grandparents, they were like that too. But I'm not a super aggressive person. I come in peace. I really do. And I was born like that. I kind of was in the background, in my family and kind of in church and stuff growing up. I was the one that was in the background. And a lot of times when people who didn't know me met me, they thought I was quiet, because I am quiet until I feel like I am forced to be this boisterous person because that's what makes me feel better or empowered to some extent. Like that's how I had to be because I didn't know any other way to cope with all the things and emotions that were going on inside of me. So when I got to high school, you know, like I had already had a coping mechanism, you know what I'm saying? And I still liked people, but I wouldn't say who I liked because I didn't want those people to reject me, and I didn't want to be embarrassed. So I never like really talked about who I liked. And then like when high school came around, I feel like that's when like internet dating came around, and Messenger, like AOL Messenger and Black Planet was out, and MySpace was out. So that I was into that hard. I was into internet dating hard because now I can get the things said to me and be accepted by people that I don't even know, who don't even know me, and feel liked and feel loved, even though I have not even met some of these people. You know what I'm saying? Like they're feeling this void of me feeling wanted that I do not get from actual people in school. So it makes me feel better about myself now, because now I got a boyfriend that's long distance online that I communicate with every night, like, or whatever, or every day. Like now I have somebody to talk to, even though I don't really know who this person is because I haven't met them. Now, some of them I did end up meeting, but that like kind of coasted me through high school or whatever. Like, so I never truly had a real relationship in high school. I just had relationships with people online. So when it was coming towards my junior year, I had this relationship online with this older guy that lived like in another city that was probably like four hours away from me or so. And this guy was supposed to go with me to, he was supposed to go to the prom with me. My parents had not ever met this guy, but I told them that this guy that I knew online was taking me to the prom. And of course they didn't believe it or whatever. And I was telling my friends, you know, that my boyfriend was taking me to the prom, and I had pictures of me and him because I did end up going one weekend when my parents were out of town. I snuck away to see him or whatever. Parents, don't worry if you're watching this video. I made it out. The Lord protected me. But anyway, I did sneak away to see him or whatever. And so we met, like he even met my sister because I made her go with me. But when the prom came around, he did not come. Like he had stopped talking to me for a long time, and he didn't come to my prom because he wasn't able to come because he didn't have no car and he was trifling. Not that he was a bad guy, but he didn't have a way to come to my prom. Like he just was like, yeah. But anyway, so that broke my heart. That broke me down even more. Like that was like the nail in the coffin. Like I'm stood up at my prom. I'm feeling already like I am bigger. I am not pretty. I am not liked. I am rejected. I done told all these people that I was coming to prom with this boyfriend that they didn't believe that I had, which I did really have. And then he did not show up to prove that I was not all these things that I thought I was, or that I felt other people thought that I was. So him not showing up to my prom was the nail in the coffin for me, just like living the rest of my life. Well, not the rest of my life, because we here, thank the Lord, but living the next 10 to 15 years of my life hurt. So he broke my heart. So then I got in college and I felt like not liked too, for the beginning, but then I ended up meeting this guy, and I actually ended up getting into a relationship with this guy, who was there. Like we had a decent relationship. Like we did have our ups and downs, but he was a nice guy to me. Like we went on vacations, like, you know, like neither one of us was perfect as far as emotionally, of course not. Because first of all, the Bible says so many times, do not awaken love before it's time. God tells us those things to protect us for reasons that when you do that, both of you are going to hurt each other, because both of you are not in a place where you should be loving, because you have not been. God said not right now. Like, you don't have to be in all of these relationships with different people and get experience before God sends you your spouse. You don't need that. The world tells you that you need that, but that's not true. The Lord says, wait. He says, hold on until I tell you to love. Because he's trying to protect your heart, protect us from going through all of these damaging, toxic, and broken situations that we end up getting ourselves into because we don't listen, because we think that he's trying to control us when he's really trying to save us from unnecessary heartbreak. So when I got into a relationship with this guy, so let's just say like in high school and middle school, like whatever those relationships were, let's just say I was never really in a committed relationship. So I wouldn't say I was a cheater then, because I wasn't ever in a relationship with anybody, but I was just talking to a whole bunch of guys and just whatever. So to a whole bunch of men, for attention. So then I get in college. And you know, the first couple years, I'm just talking to guys for attention. Once again, still online. This Facebook came around. So just still dating people online that I don't really know. So then I meet this guy and he becomes my boyfriend for like the majority of the rest of my college, maybe the last 2 years of college, maybe the last 3 years of college, and then like the year after college. But during that relationship, because I still dealt with so many insecurities, so much need for attention, so much abandonment issues, so many rejection issues that I did not know what all that was, I ended up cheating on this man. And I don't know if he ever cheated on me. I did remember a situation where I like saw a text message and then let's not talk about what I did, but I saw a text message and then I kind of went off. But I don't really know if he really cheated on me or not. I'm not really sure. He probably did, especially after he found out, after I told him that I had cheated on him. So I tell him that I was cheating, like, not just with one person most of the time. Just like getting attention and needing attention from multiple men. Like in every relationship that I had, I felt like I needed to be talking to multiple people, especially when my mate did not meet my needs in whatever area that was, not always sexually, just being there with quality time, whatever the things were that were my love languages that were not being met at that time, I would go find someone to meet those needs on the side. Whether it could just been a texting conversation, it could have been a talking conversation, it could have been whatever that I felt like to heal my heart and fill these empty voids that I still felt even though I was in a decent relationship. So I cheated on him or whatever, and then we still worked it out after I had cheated. But of course, the relationship was never the same after I told him I cheated. The relationship was never the same after that. But I felt, and I told him I cheated because my convictions are deep. Like, I'm a real human being who has feelings, and I cannot lie like that. Like, I can lie like that because obviously that's how the cheating started, but I cannot continue it because my conscience won't allow. And I thank God for that, for having that, even though I was in sin. So the relationship was never the same after that. But I was working and trying to get him to see me how he saw me before the cheating incident, just working and just, you know, I don't know, like, what do you expect when someone cheats, when you cheat on somebody? It's not going to be the same, but cheaters think that you're going to forget, or they don't understand how you feel. So they expect you to look at them the same when you probably can never see them the same. But they're expecting you to look at them the same and to move on like this never happened. Like, oh, forgive me. But it's not that easy. You cannot forgive someone that easily like that because you have been betrayed. You have been hurt. But cheaters, cheaters expect that you're going to forgive them because they don't know how it feels because you have not cheated on them, or they don't know about it. So yeah, so that's how that was. So after that, and after he didn't like really forgive me, and even though we continued the relationship on for like a year and a half after that, even when I moved 2 hours away to go back to school, like I expected all these things from him, and he just physically and emotionally could not give them to me. Then I was heartbroken. Then I felt like, because I feel like we moved and it just didn't work out. So we really broke up this time. And then I felt like so much shame, so much condemnation because I had hurt this person that I thought was good for me. So then now I'm operating out of a place of unworthiness. Now all of my relationships since then were with men who were not worthy of me because I didn't feel that I deserved anything good because of what I had done to this person. I carried that with me in all of my relationships after that. So that's why I settled time and time again. And even though I knew I was in relationships and I was not being treated how I was supposed to be treated, and I still cheated on all of them, like I said, except for the last person that like was the last straw of my relationship life thus far. Even though, you know, like I felt shame, I still was cheating because I still wasn't getting the attention that I needed. And I still was trying to fill the same void that I had since I was in middle school. So I say this to say that people who cheat have a void. They have unaddressed emotional issues. They have, you know, issues of insecurity, issues of abandonment, issues of rejection, fear of committing to this one person because this one person may hurt them. Fear of giving their all into one situation because this one situation may hurt them. Fear. Not wanting to commit because it's scary, because they don't know if they live up to it. Like after the first, incident with the first boyfriend, and I'm just like dating all these people now out of shame because I feel like I will never be the woman that these men need me to be. So now I accept, and now I act like I'm not the woman that these men need me to be, but that's not what I want it to be. But I was doing it for years and years and years, hurting men who probably really liked me or loved me and who may have expected something different out of me, but I just gave them, the hurt that they probably were afraid of. Even if these men cheated on me, I still hurt them too, while continually compounding hurt on myself. So then when I decided, you know what, I have to do something different if I want to truly be a wife, I end up with this person who is hurt, who has extreme unaddressed emotional abandonment and rejection issues, who seems to maybe not ever, he seems like he's never going to face his issues to change his ways, who is a full-blown narcissist, who, you know what I'm saying? And narcissists, like I tell you guys all the time, are created in their childhood because of something that happened to them, something that hurt them, that they are continuously running from, continuously hiding from, because they don't feel worthy. They don't feel worthy of themselves. They don't feel worthy of the people who they talk to. They just talk to people for short periods of time because they feel like, or they know that these people are always going to leave them when they find out who they really are, because who they really are is trash, because they have chosen not to address the issues that have made them trash. It's a choice. So, it's a choice. So I come here to say to everyone, because, I really came because I remembered when I was with my boyfriend in Chapel Hill when I was in college, and I think this was after he had already forgiven me for cheating. I remember calling him in my car, acting like I was going to go home and go to sleep, like doing my okay, good night call because I'm tired, in my car about to go and cheat. I did that. I knew how to cheat on a man. Okay? And I could have full blown on been a narcissistic woman. I really could have. If I would have decided to allow the demonic forces behind narcissism to control my life, I could have been that. Because I was already doing manipulative things and hiding things from men for so long. But I decided that wasn't the life that I wanted. And there was no man that could have convinced me that that wasn't the life that I wanted. I had to decide that wasn't the life that I wanted. And if my boyfriend that I first cheated on would have stayed with me, I would not have changed ever. I would not have become the woman that I am today if he would have stayed with me while I was continuously cheating and then continuously apologizing, saying I'm not going to do it, and continuously still doing it because I still feel like I'm not good enough or whatever, that because I'm still insecure and I don't love myself. So, I hope y'all this video was kind of all over the place, but I just want to reveal the root behind unfaithfulness. And it all goes back to childhood rejection, childhood abandonment, childhood neglect, childhood abuse of some sort. It all goes back to that. And staying does not help the person face themselves. Only leaving could possibly push them into the space of facing themselves. Possibly. It's not even guaranteed then. So this is all coming from this whole Derek Jackson thing, this whole, all men are cheaters, whatever. They really not, because when I tell you women can cheat too, whoever has some issues with insecurity and abandonment and need for attention can possibly be a cheater. It depends on whether you've allowed God to come in and heal those broken areas from your childhood. That's what makes you ready to be a good spouse, a faithful spouse. And even then, you're going to need the Lord to help you resist the temptation of other people in your marriage. I'm not in a marriage yet, but God had to strip so many things from me after this last narcissistic relationship. So I've unfollowed some men that I used to follow just so I can get my mind right for my spouse. Because I know how I am. You can be doing everything you want to be doing good. Husband, everything can be going great. But that seed of abandonment and attention, when that person that you're with, husband, married, does not feel that for you, you're looking for them to feel that, and it's empty. And at the same time, somebody fine could be walking along with a six-pack and they can be trying to talk to you. You're going to need something else to help you resist that kind of temptation, whether you are a man or a woman. And the only, the blood of Jesus. Okay? And discipline. And knowing that the consequences of what will happen if you do this. It's not about whether you'll hurt the person or not so much. You're hurting yourself. You're killing your own future. So I hope that you guys got something out of this video, just hearing another perspective, hearing how, like, my choices, if I would have made different choices, I could have been a narcissist. It depends on who choose you this day, who you will serve, who will you allow to direct your life, the Lord or the enemy. So I love you guys. I hope that this helps somebody. I hope that you have the courage to go back, look into your childhood, address the issues that need to be faced as to why you feel like you can't stand alone in the world, why you feel like you always need attention from multiple sources, why you put the responsibility of your happiness into that of a human being, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. No one can fill the void that is empty that in that way except for the Lord. So you can go into a marriage all you want to, but if you have not addressed those issues and allowed the Lord to heal your brokenness, then you're stepping into a very dangerous situation with the marriage. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I will see you guys in the next video. I love you all. Bye.